Olá, boa noite! O Exou Biribó, hoje com o vídeo 17 de The Book of Unwritten Tales 2. Quebrado o encantamento do arquimago, ele explicou que a gravidez de Ivo é porque ela carregou o artefato mágico que antes estivera com Nate, e o artefato captou dele todo o imenso desejo de constituir família com Ivo. Daí ele a pediu em casamento e ela aceitou. Mas se na vida real o que é bom dura pouco, nos jogos de aventura menos ainda. Para salvar Ivo, o Nate ficou na frente da cabeça da medusa e foi transformado em pedra. O arquimago se obrigou a deixar o corpo e a morrer para, como espírito, destruir a cabeça da medusa. Mas não conseguiu pegar a varinha de Chantal, que fugiu para a Pedra-Mar. Antes de sumir, o espírito do arquimago deu instruções para Ivo e Critter. Nisso, passamos para o Bosque Obscuro, onde Wilbur, numa aldeia, precisa chegar até o castelo no fundo da floresta para, pretensamente, obter o livro que ensina como destruir a varinha mágica. Agora ele já tem a besta, né? Precisa uma flecha de prata. Olhar fragmento de pele, só que eu não tinha visto.
A bit of fur. Could belong to the werewolf. He ran towards the woods and got a bit too close to these thorns. Traces of both the werewolf and of Esther, but none of the paladin.
Ele tem uma coisa para consertar, né? O Gulliver e o Nate, que são artífices, talvez possam consertar.
Gulliver!
Wilbur, how can we help?
Encontrei umas marcas.
I found some traces of the werewolf and of Esther, but strangely, none of the paladin.
He was there. I saw him as plain as day, just as I see you before me now.
I believe you, but he left no tracks whatsoever.
Me ocorre como podemos encontrar o coração do bosque.
There should be a lot of psychokinetic energy in the heart of the wood.
What's that?
Well, it's a kind of energy emitted by supernatural things. You can locate it using a little device with arms attached. Could you make a device like that?
A little device with arms sticking out. Not exactly a precise description. Can you get me the blueprints? Then Nate and I can try our luck.
No, I don't think so.
Ele tem detector de espíritos.
If we can't build a PKE detector ourselves, then we're going to have to get hold of the mayor's somehow. But he doesn't want to give his up because it reliably detects supernatural beings.
What do you suggest?
I'm working on it.
Perguntei se vocês podiam esperar ali na casa dele.
I think you might be safer in the village than here. I asked the mayor if you could wait there.
Let me guess what he said. I'm not having zombies in my house.
Why doesn't he want to help you?
People don't know us, and they're afraid of what they don't know.
Perhaps I should talk to him again.
In Seastone, I thought that success and enough money might make people forget who we are, but they don't, ever.
Encontrei uma prensa de argila no bosque. Pode repará-la? É, bem que eu pensei nisso.
Could you maybe repair this press, Gulliver?
Nate, that's a job for you, isn't it? The boy has long overtaken his old man when it comes to repairs.
What? That's it? Wow, you're quick. Right then, hold the fort.
We're here if you need us.
Agora eu já posso fazer um tijolo, aí então eu tenho argila. Fazer um molde para a flecha.
A perfect clay brick.
Agora a flecha de ferro no molde.
An absolutely perfect impression of an iron bolt.
E agora eu preciso colocar a prata lá. As joias de prata no copinho de pedra dos anões.
The goblet is almost full to the brim with silver jewelry. Didn't look much to begin with.
Derreter a prata.
Let's see what happens. In fact, it's hot enough to melt the silver in the goblet.
Usar a prata com o molde.
That's definitely not going to work. The clay is pretty moist and the hot silver would make the water evaporate pretty explosively. I'm still a gnome, and by our very nature we gnomes know about vaporous explosivisions.
Vai usar areia então no molde? Areia grossa e seca? Na prensa?
I wonder if I could press the sand into some kind of brick. It's dry, and that might prevent it from sticking together very well. It worked! The sand has formed a pretty solid block. Just the same, I'd better leave it in the press so that it doesn't fall apart.
Ah, esperto agora. Agora a flecha no molde de areia.
A very good mold of the boat. I can't see any difference from the original.
E agora a prata no molde de areia.
This is the moment of truth. Nate, can you carefully pour the molten silver into the sand mold without burning your robot hand things? Be careful. Very, very careful. Brilliant. Well done. There was just enough silver. The mold in the sand is filled to the brim and it's starting to cool. Now we wait. Perfect! It looks exactly like the iron bolt, only this one will be able to inflict some damage on a werewolf as well. Now I finally got everything I need to go deeper into the woods. Wish me luck.
Take care, Wilbur, and shout if you need any help.
Vai direto pro povoado. Esse lençol aqui que fica dando ação, mas ele não...
It seems the mayor isn't just the mayor, fireman, priest, coachman and blacksmith. Looks like he's also forced into being his own washerwoman.
Ah, agora ele pode pegar. Por que que antes não podia?
Hopefully the mayor won't have any objection, as long as it helps me banish the evil from the woods.
O fio do varal.
You can always use some string, as I'm sure I've mentioned on more than one occasion.
Pegar.
Ah, it wouldn't be theft. I really need the string for, stuff. The washing line does, however, seem to be knotted to a hook on the house, which is much too high up for me.
Cortar. Machado.
If you can't undo a knot, then you can at least cut it. That's it!
Pegou. Agora o que ele vai fazer com isso?
Whew! Okay. Time to hunt me a werewolf. No! Be gone, you beast! That was pretty easy. Everything okay?
Has she gone?
I drove it away, and I thought that I hadn't hit it.
She surprised me. I hate spiders.
Outra em cima.
Everything's fine. The danger's past. At least as long as the werewolf doesn't... Timmy? Don't!
Are you crazy? I would have got him.
O homem-lobo é Timmy. Quase matou o Timmy.
That was my friend Timmy. He isn't a werewolf, he's a were-rat.
Did you know about it?
He was often ill. Always became very reclusive when that happened.
Perhaps once a month? During a full moon?
Remy never told me how Timmy's parents died. It could have been a werewolf attack.
Dangerous beasts. Nothing but anger, hate and muscle. also fur. Your friend shouldn't have kept it a secret from you. He would have ripped you to pieces if he'd had half the chance.
Timmy was sleeping in Esther's jacket pocket when we arrived in the dark woods. He didn't know it was always night with a full moon here. And out there in the real world, it was another 2 weeks before the full moon.
Perhaps it's not his fault, but he's dangerous. If he attacks me, I'll defend myself.
I'll find a way to break the werewolf's curse. Maybe there's a library with magic books up at the castle. The sorcerer might have been interested in werewolves. Or maybe the Count knows something. He seems very fond of wolves.
Good luck with that. As far as I know, only a shot to the head with a silver bolt can break the curse.
It won't come to that. We'll look for Esther in the heart of the wood, and I'll take care of Timmy.
As long as he doesn't take care of us first.
Por que uma menina como tu se faz caça-recompensa?
Why does a girl like you decide to become a bounty hunter?
What do you mean, a girl like me?
Most gnome girls I know wouldn't choose such a dangerous career.
Yeah? Well, they'd rather be engineers, mechanics, or technicians. But what if I'm not interested in all that girly stuff?
Totally with you there. That's why I became a mage.
Well then, can't you just conjure something up and poof, the evil's gone?
No, I'm not a mage anymore.
Oh, I think it's good that you at least gave it a try.
Então que sempre você quis ser caça-recompensa?
And you? You always wanted to be a bounty hunter and simply followed your dream?
I wanted to help my clan. I didn't want to stand by and watch as I earn gold. We need it.
And once you have the gold?
We'll see. Go back home. Maybe I'll find myself a handsome gnome.
Won't you miss the adventure?
Nearly being eaten by spiders? No, not particularly.
Sugiro que busquemos o coração do bosque juntos.
We should continue on together and watch each other's backs.
Perhaps that isn't the worst idea. I've normally got a good sense of orientation, but in these strange woods...
I've got an idea how to find the heart. I'll need a device from the mayor for it, though.
Then I suggest you go and get the device and I'll hold the fort. But not here near the spiders.
Okay, shouldn't take too long.
By the way, my name is Lizzie Pebblebrook. My friends call me Tin Lizzie because, well, it's quite obvious, really.
Aqui era onde estava a
I don't
armadilha.
believe that Timmy would simply fall into a trap like that. But it might not be such a bad idea. Something could easily happen to him as a werewolf or a were-rat. Or he could hurt someone.
Olhos.
For a long time, people believed that eyes shining in the darkness belonged to dangerous animals that watch you. Turns out they're just glowing eyes without any body, hovering harmlessly in the air. Nothing to worry about.
Pedaço de pano.
That's Timmy's scarf! It's torn.
Tem uma cabeça de pedra aqui.
You can find these stone heads all over Avantasia. They're ancient and no one knows who made them. Lizzie's very brave. I'm sure that episode of the spider was just a little slip. She didn't hesitate for a second when I suggested that we find the heart together.
Esquerda. Inferior direito. E inferior direito aqui não tem. Ou tem, é que tá fora aqui. Tá sair do bosque. Mas é um que fica fora aqui, ó. Se eu não venho com o cursor aqui, nunca aparece essa porta. Olhe lá. Quase não aparece apertando o espaçador. Senhor, descobri tudo, mas preciso o equipamento pro coração da floresta.
Hello? Oh, yes?
Sabe algo do homem-lobo?
If you get bitten by a werewolf, you turn into one yourself, right?
Yeah, that's what they say. It's called
The werewolf curse.
Do you know how to lift that kind of curse?
Well, there are lots of normal wolves around here, especially near the castle. But werewolves? Well, none have ever strayed into our region. That's why I don't know much about them.
Quanto ao detector, pode me entregar.
Could we talk about the detector again? I really do need it badly to find the heart of the wood.
And I needed to detect supernatural threats around me. As long as the device reliably warns me of any spectral activity, it's an essential companion.
See you again sometime.
I hope so. I really do.
Eu vou ter que assustar esse cara pra ele me entregar. Vou me vestir de fantasma?
The bedsheet could make the great beginnings of a ghost costume. Ta-da! Time for a ghost performance. Ooh! 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 Oh! Ooh.
What are you doing?
I am the ghost of the wood.
Haven't we got enough real spooks around here? Do you have to dress up like one too?
I don't know what you're talking about. Ooh.
I can see your feet. And is that my bedsheet?
You haven't settled the ghost of the wood, but I will return. Ooh. I don't know how, but he recognized me. It may be because he has a lot of experience with ghostly apparitions, living in the dark woods and all. Or it may have been my feet poking out from under the sheet.
Pedaço de madeira com a corda para fazer uma
The
vara.
only thing more useful than a bit of string and a long stick is a long stick with a bit of string attached. Fishing rods offer the best of both worlds, and one can do practically anything with them. Like, well, fishing, for example.
Ver se o Gulliver pode ser o fantasma aqui.
Gulliver,
Wilbur, have you found the heart of the wood? And Esther and Timmy, are they okay?
still no trace of Esther, but as far as Timmy goes, there have been developments.
Fiz um fantasma estupendamente, mas o estúpido do prefeito me reconheceu.
I dressed up as a ghost, but even though I was totally convincing, that stupid mayor recognized me right away. It was mainly my feet that gave me away.
Then let's use my head to play the ghost.
Ah,
Turn me into a ghost.
é Timmy, que é um rato-lobo.
That werewolf you saw, I think it was Timmy.
Timmy, what are you saying?
I met him in the woods. He's a were-rat.
You mean Timmy's been bitten by a werewolf?
Not tonight. Presumably some time ago. He was in Esther's coat pocket when we got to the dark woods. It's always night here, and always a full moon.
And when my fluffy kitten was frightened by the paladin?
He must have fallen out of the pocket. He saw the full moon, and poof, changed.
And you said it's always a full moon here.
Ah, that's right. We have to find a way to lift the curse. Or we have to somehow get Timmy out of the dark woods.
Então vamos fazer o fantasma.
Right, let's do some haunting.
How are we going to do that? Should I roll into the shop?
I could carry you.
A ghost that needs to be carried is no more frightening than a ghost with feet.
That was scary. But I think you're probably right. Right then, hold the fort.
We're here if you need us.
Lençol no...
Here's a white sheet to start with.
And? Scary?
Sort of.
E a vara para segurar a cabeça.
I've come up with an idea on how we can get you to fly.
Really?
Yes. I don't want to go into detail, but let's just say there is something to do with this homemade fishing rod.
I see. Tie it up.
Done.
Vamos.
What do you think, Gulliver? Is it time to give the mayor a bit of a fright?
We can at least give it a go.
flying ghost this time. Oh, very nice. He doesn't look very scary.
But he can speak. Whoa!
Oh, nice effect. But I've already seen ventriloquists at the fun fair.
But
We'll be back. Oh! Let's get out of here.
Tem que ficar mais assustador ainda.
but everything usually startles him.
He didn't seem scared this time. Don't let your head drop. We'll think of something and try again.
Then we'll just have to make the costume even spookier.
É, se o Gulliver fosse ele mesmo, o cara ia se assustar, mas usar as brasas?
Gulliver, I'm just thinking if we could get our ghosts to glow using a couple of hot pieces of coal.
Or how about glowing eyes? That would be even scarier.
Great idea. Then all we need is some kind of holder for them. And we'll need to be very careful. Those coals are very hot.
Oh, right. Here, hold these. Don't lose them.
Yeah.
Guarde meus olhos.
Nate, give me 2 pieces of coal. Red glowing ones from down at the bottom, if possible. And how do I look?
That is really spooky. And also just a touch revolting.
That's how it should be.
Hora de começar, então.
Gulliver,
Yes?
Vamos fazer o fantasma.
this time we'll do it.
Let's spook! Oh, whoa! Ooh, wow!
Wow! Oh, that looks really scary. Well done.
Aha! Then you should use your PKE and see what it says.
I don't need it. I know there's nothing supernatural at work here.
How do you know that?
Well, for one, I can see the string you're using to hold up the ball of whatever it is. And I can see you. I'm even speaking to you.
Okay. I'll give you that one.
Wilbur?
But the eyes look great. And the voice is good too. How do you manage to make it sound as if it came from the ghost?
Why do I smell burning?
That voice isn't coming from me. It's coming from...
Fire! Fire! Ah! Ah! Wilbur, where are you? Ah! Ow! What the devil is going on here? Where is everyone?
What is that?
The, rubber ball has changed itself into an evil skull.
Right. I'm an evil, terrible, demonic skull. Fear me.
But I'm not getting any sign of supernatural activity.
Oh, that's because us evil demons have learned how to haunt without being recognized.
That's not possible.
But there's more. Get the man with the PKE, the Heart of the Wood said.
No.
We shall return.
That was unexpected.
We're doomed.
No, I'll find the heart of the wood and put an end to this. Have no fear. See you later.
Wilbur, well, how do you think we did? From what I saw up there, he almost wet himself.
That would have made me feel even more guilty. I wish we didn't have to scare him that badly.
All for a good cause. If you can track the Heart of the Wood with the PKE and destroy it, then you'll actually be helping him.
If I use it in the woods, it'll show me the way to the heart of the woods.
Try it out, and good luck.
Devolver os olhos, né?
Here are your eyes.
São os mais bonitos, ainda bem. A Esther diz que o esquerdo é o melhor, que ela já viu.
Nate has tried time and time again to cheer Timmy up the last few days. He even managed it occasionally, but Timmy always crept back into Esther's coat pocket.
O caminho dentro do bosque. Essa viagem rápida que já deveria ter antes.
Look what I've got here.
What is it?
This device can tell us how close we're getting to a source of supernatural energy.
Genius! We just have to keep to the paths where the device reacts strongest.
That's right. Our senses can be fooled, but not good old gnome technology.
I'll mark the route we follow so we can find it again later.
Let's go.
Partimos agora.
I think this thing is just leading us round in circles.
I don't believe it. Look! The heart of the woods.
Are you sure?
É uma absoluta.
Pretty much, yep.
We have to be prepared for anything. Headless horsemen, paladins, witches, spiders. There could be a whole army waiting for us in there.
Ladies first?
Olhar a árvore condenada.
Whatever is living in the cave under the tree, it's killed off all the trees close by. I've never seen such a gnarled, sickly tree before. Even Ivo's dad would have trouble getting that to blossom again.
Entrar.
Well, okay then. I'll lead. Esther!
Well, 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 who have we here?
Arquimago Alistair? Não pode ser.
This isn't possible. The Archmage is dead. Who are you?
Yes, I'm dead, thanks to you. If you weren't so incompetent and stupid, I'd still be alive.
Mas como ele sabe que o Arquimago morreu? Não era minha intenção. Sinto, Moncos me enganou. Você não é o Arquimago Alistair.
Enough! You're not the Archmage.
Wilbur, how can you say such a thing? I was your friend, and you didn't prevent my death.
Who are you really?
Silence!
Remy também não é.
Archmage Alistair and Remy were my friends. I forbid you to pretend they're here.
Don't you understand, Wilbur? We relied on you and you have abused our trust. You disappointed us and you will disappoint Gulliver, Timmy and the others too. You're just a stupid little boy who makes everything worse.
Rubbish. Don't listen to him, Wilbur. No, a spider.
Yes! I will suck you dry.
Stop! I know who you are.
And
Você é o medo. É o fantasma do feiticeiro. Bom, em realidade não sei. Eu só queria distrair você da Lizzie. Você é o medo.
You're always whatever we're most afraid of.
I'm death, disease, loss, failure, humiliation. The monster under the bed. The creature in the cupboard.
Lizzie's afraid of spiders. Esther of the Paladin who once chopped her head off. And me? I don't want to make any mistakes and cause anything nasty to happen to my friends.
But you can't prevent it. Neither of you will leave this cave alive. And then I'll get your friends one by one.
Nós somos dois e você está sozinho. Você não é real. Algo me ocorrerá. Não é real.
You aren't real. Arrows and bolts just fly straight through you.
Nothing can harm me. You're lost desperately.
You only have power if we give it to you, right?
No, I am real. I will kill your friend.
Yeah? Go on then.
I will sink my fangs into your skull.
No, you won't. The spider isn't real, Lizzie.
I am. Fear is real.
It can only paralyze us if we let it. Why are you backing off? Are you gonna bite her or what?
Yes. Why should I be scared of you if you can't do anything to me?
But what if I can? You can't be sure.
I'll take the risk.
You can't destroy me. I'm always here.
But we can control you. Everything okay?
Yes, I'm all right now.
I'm not sure what to ask. I think I'll simply gaze at her for a while. I'm going to concentrate on the task at hand.
Só vou olhá-la por tempo. Olhar a Esther.
Esther hasn't made a sound yet. I hope she's all right. And I hope she can walk. It'll be a long walk back if I had to carry her. Esther, how are you doing?
He's going to cut my head off, and then I won't be able to look after Gulliver and Nate anymore.
Essa coisa foi, Esther.
Don't worry, Esther. That thing is gone. It can't hurt you now.
The paladin, he wants to chop my head off. Who's going to take care of both my boys then?
Gulliver e NT estão bem.
Gulliver and Nate are fine. They're both waiting for you at the campfire.
Yes, for now. But the paladin wants to chop my head off. And who'll take care of them if that happens?
Não há nenhum paladino.
There is no paladin anymore. And there never was one in the first place. It was a kind of apparition sent to scare you.
No, I definitely saw him. He is out to get my family.
Olha, Esther, ninguém vai fazer-te dano.
Look at me, Esther. There's no one here who wants to do you any harm. The ghost has disappeared.
He has gone?
It's gone, and it won't come back as long as you don't let it.
He said that he was going to get Nate. As soon as he has chopped my head off, he was going to get my little boy.
It won't come to that. I'll explain, but not here. Let's join Nate and Gulliver by the nice warm fire, okay?
Yes, yes. Oh, thank you, Wilbur.
Olhar para Esther.
As soon as she takes Gulliver and Nate into her arms and knows that everything is okay, she'll forget this cave in no time.
Olhar os objetos.
All sorts of small stuff and a few pieces of clothing too. Yes, this thing fed off its victims' fear. It made them ill, perhaps even drove them mad. They were no longer able to think of anything else, didn't eat, and no one in the town knew what had happened. A little mirror, a flute, shoes, scarves, and there's a hair clip. Lots of little things, all mementos of the abducted villagers. I will talk to the mayor and offer to bring everything back to the village once I've freed Timmy from the curse and found the sorcerer's book. A picture of a clown. Funny. A sad clown is art, everyone knows that, but this one here looks pretty normal to me. Even though I spent quite a bit of time in Seastone, I don't know much about fish. I'm a child of the mountains. I'm pretty sure that this must be a dolphin, though, as it wants to play with a swimmer. Someone once told me that dolphins weren't actually fish at all. They were actually birds, because they flew through the water with their wings, just like birds through the air. Might be something to that. A man waving at the observer in a friendly manner. He's wearing a name tag. Looks like his name is Claus. I don't get it. I don't like it when you really have to think to get the meaning of art. What is this Claus picture trying to tell us?
Partimos agora, então? Diria aquela que jamais disse isso.
I know two people who are longing to see you, Esther.
And I know someone who owes us a sack of gold.
Come on, let's go.
So, there was never a curse.
That's right. No curse, no real threat. Only fear made it become a reality.
Oh, then I'll try to be more open-minded in the future and not always assume the worst.
You can start by welcoming my zombie friends into your village.
We'll see. At least I'll talk to them.
That would be good.
Não havia uma recompensa?
If my memory serves me right, you promised a sack full of gold to the person who hunted down the Headless Horseman.
Of course. And you have earned it.
Eu não, a caça
We earned it.
recompensa.
You get half of this, Lizzie.
That won't be necessary. See you around.
Oh, yes. See you later.
I think she just, never mind.
Será que ela ficou com tudo? Será que era um golpe? Mas foi um golpe fofo. Como é que te perseguia um cavaleiro sem cabeça?
Why did fear show itself to you in the form of a Headless Horseman?
Oh, my grandfather always used to tell me a story about a headless horseman. I was terribly scared of it, but it was still my favourite story.
And if there's enough hysteria, you'll believe anything. Even that ghost stories are real.
Pode mostrar-me como ir ao castelo?
Now you know how to defend yourself against the curse. So could you please show me the way to the old Van Buren castle?
Oh, yeah, of course. You and the enchanting young lady.
Huh, and about time too.
I'd better draw myself a good map. I'm sure I'll be going back and forth between the castle and the village a few more times. My friends are here and Timmy is still somewhere in the woods.
Fine, let's go.
Thank you, Mr. Whale. I drew my path on the map very carefully. This way, we can always return to the village if necessary.
No need. I'll only leave the castle one more time, with a few crates of gold.
What do you mean?
This place sucks, don't you think?
The castle will blossom in your presence, just like me.
Laddie!
My moonshine.
You won't believe what I've been through. I need a bath this instant.
But of course, my love. Then perhaps a light dinner, and then let's just see what the evening holds in store.
Ahem.
Are you her servant?
No,
You can be my servant. My Igor died years ago. For good this time.
Actually, I wanted to...
Wipe your shoes, or you'll have to clean everything again.
But... There we go again.
Galinhas.
The Count seems to like chickens. That's a good sign. Anyone who likes animals can't be a bad person. The chickens seem to be quite lively. They run, they peck. You could say they're poultry in motion.
Galinha.
The chicken coop is in pretty much the same condition as the castle. Skew whiff. And the roof leaks. Nasty statues. I saw them from the drawbridge. They look like a mixture of a man and bat. And it's almost as if, they watch you the whole time as you approach the castle. Neither the drawbridge nor the portcullis were able to protect Van Buren against the mages, paladins and villagers who came for him. Maybe he was no longer at the height of his power. Otherwise, a sorcerer like him should be able to defend a castle like this easily. The Count and his young fiancée met through a newspaper ad, which means someone has to fight his way through the mountains on a regular basis. Just a single sealed scroll. To Count Vladimir Orlov, the Dark Woods. Oh, hey, the seal bears the Seastone coat of arms. Legend has it that a master builder was once hired to come up with a visually appealing way to divert water from the roofs of buildings. He thought to himself, why don't I put statues on the corners of the roof and let them get rid of water the way you, get rid of water? The idea with the peeing statue didn't meet much approval, and they forced him to change his design. He was very angry about the whole thing. That's why gargoyles today look like they're constantly throwing up. Doesn't look like rain, thankfully. A storm is the last thing I need in a place like this. I'd say that coach hasn't moved a metre since old Van Buren's day. Several spokes are broken. Yes! Ooh, there's a small tree growing out of one of the seats. I wonder how many owners this castle had before Van Buren. Too bad it's so run down. Soon it'll be nothing but ruins. Nothing but weeds and trash everywhere you look. The Count really does need some urgent household support. Time to make myself useful as the new servant. On the other hand, I'm not the world's best gardener and should probably leave well alone. In an old building like this, falling masonry is probably an occupational hazard. Wonder if that's why the position of Igor was open.
Levantar a pedra.
Stone's fairly flat, maybe some sort of roof tile. Yeah, big white maggots.
Pegar alguns gusanos.
Okay, if we must. Yeah.
Pode colocar na garrafa de tequila agora. Bebedor.
A shallow water bowl for the chickens. Empty. They've no use for an empty bowl. I wonder why someone would send a letter from Seastone to the Dark Woods. The letter's sealed and it's not proper for a servant to read his master's post.
E aqui em cima, olhar o castelo.
The castle is way too big for one person. Why do all rich people always buy buildings like this and live in them all alone? As the rooms the Count uses are so dilapidated, I wonder what the others will look like. Oh, fine. Lovely.
Olhar os quadros.
Ooh, scary people. I can't tell if these are relatives of the sorcerer or the Count. The only certainty is that these are some of the creepiest faces I have ever seen. But they look somehow generous.
Montão de cera.
How many candles must have burned here to leave a pile of wax that big? Or are those magic candles that have been burning for decades? Ah, if I need a load of candle wax, I know where I can find it.
Pequena estufa.
A small wood stove like that can't even begin to heat such a huge building. Here in the hallway, it's exactly the same temperature as outside. This stove reminds me of the one in my classroom in Seastone. It had a broken pipe too, and it was pretty useless. However, this one looks less pleasant.
Tela. Tecido.
The castle really needs to be dusted. But, seeing as how it would be my job as the servant, I think I'll just keep quiet on the subject.
Ah, tecido cobrindo o espelho por causa do vampiro.
The Count probably got tired of always having to clean the mirror. Very old mirror, except for a few dull spots, it's in good nick.
Teto.
Hard to believe how high the ceiling is in this hall. The chandelier chains disappear into the gloom. You can see eyes blinking way up in the dark, and you can hear the occasional squeak. I think those are bats. The Count probably hasn't noticed them yet. I can hardly imagine him allowing bats in his castle.
Olhar as escadas.
From the outside, it looks as though the castle has at least 5 or 6 floors, and old castles often have cellars and dungeons too. Judging from the outside, I'd say at least 5 or 6. And old castles like this one often have cellars and dungeons too. A lot of work for just one Igor. The only footprints on the dusty stairs are from Miss Kiki. Doesn't Count Orlov ever visit the upper floors? Does the Count stay down here the whole time? I should have a look around down here.
Ir ao cofre.
There are some pretty strange characters here in the gallery, but this one really takes the cake. A very unpleasant-looking fellow. He looks evil, arrogant, and more than a little bit crazy. A heavy wooden chest with 7 seals. 2 of them are open. Could be where the book is hidden, but it could also contain the Count's well-protected underwear. Either way, there's no sign of how to open the 5 remaining seals.
7 selos, 2 já estão abertos e os outros 5 ele precisa descobrir como abrir. Mudou o quadro agora.
Am I nuts, or are those paintings different from before? The pictures don't seem to be alive like in the Mage Tower in Seastone, but they seem to constantly change. Very handy if you have more paintings than space on the walls.
Entrar no vestíbulo.
Ah, there you are, Igor. Prepare dinner for my fiancée. And set the table with all the trimmings. We want to have a romantic meal before withdrawing.
Não me chamo Igor, sou Wilbur.
My name's Wilbur.
My servants are all called Igor. Igor, his father Igor, his grandfather Igor, and his father too.
Whew, you certainly had a lot of servants.
That's why it's too late now to get used to a new name. I'll call you Igor. I would even give you Igor's old suit, if I had it.
Dizem que o castelo pertenceu há séculos a feiticeiro louco, não?
The villagers told me that the mad sorcerer Ashcroft Van Buren used to live here.
That is correct, until he was hung, drawn, and quartered. The wizards and paladins didn't do things by halves, just quarters. They took everything that was of interest or value to them. They left the rest here.
Was there a book amongst the things left behind?
The Sorcerer's Diary. Yes, I found that a few months after I moved in a secret desk drawer.
No, I mean, more of a magic book, you know, with incantations and such.
No, not that I know of.
Me fixei num cofre grande do vestíbulo.
The large chest in the hall looks like it's been there a long time. Is it yours?
Van Buren had it built, but now it belongs to me. The painting up there is of him. The chest and the painting are the only things the mages wanted to take with them, but they couldn't. Both are bound to the castle by powerful magic.
Ooh, so there must be something important in there.
I don't know. I've only been able to open 2 of the 7 seals.
Maybe that's where he kept his spellbook.
Is it valuable? The young ladies are getting ever more demanding these days, and my new line of guano skin cream for the man of the world hasn't done quite as well as I hoped.
Master, maybe I can help opening the chest for you. I'm good at that kind of thing.
If you wish, as long as it doesn't clash with your other tasks. I want to be sure my little bunny rabbit is properly pampered. Here, this Sorcerer's Diary. I was able to open the first 2 seals with the help of this.
Thank you, Master.
Sabe de algo sobre lobisomem?
Do you know much about werewolves?
Not particularly. Us and them, we don't get on. Normal wolves, yes. They're the children of the night, and I like standing on the balcony of an evening, listening to them singing. But werewolves, poor souls that have been cursed and can feel nothing but primitive anger and hate.
Is there any way to get rid of the curse?
Of course, quite easily. You have to kill the werewolf that cursed you in the first place.
And if you don't know who it was?
Then you can only hope that a friend pumps your head full of silver.
No way!
Que querem comer você e a jovem donzela?
And what may I serve you and the young Miss Kiki?
For the young lady, a rocket salad with vinegar, oil, and strips of chicken breast. That's what young ladies eat these days. Nothing for me, thank you.
Not even a little bite?
Maybe later. Until then, I'll make do with a glass of red wine.
As you wish, Master. I'll go and find the chef and order the salad.
I don't have a chef. I normally order out.
But I can't cook.
How hard can it be to make a salad with vinegar and oil? Make haste, Igor!
Very well. Count Olaf, Master.
Resgatei a sua noiva no bosque.
I saved your fiancée in the forest. She was thrown from a horse and lost her way.
The poor child. What luck that nothing happened to her. I've been waiting for her for so long.
I heard you've been married a few times.
Many times. Unfortunately, I've never grown old with any of my lovers. I am cursed. I'm forced to try again every few years with a new, young woman.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm really sorry.
Havia uma carta para você.
Master, this scroll was in the postbox.
From Seastone. Archmage murdered. Wanted, blah, blah. Nothing of any importance.
Are you sure?
I'm not interested in politics. Kings and archmages come and go.
Yes, you're right. No reason to burden yourself with such things. There's a picture of the Archmage and me on the cover. Even if the Count isn't interested in politics, he's not likely to let a wanted murderer work for him. He would hand me over to the Van Burens if he noticed.
O que aconteceu com Igor e seu traje?
What was it with Igor and his uniform?
Your predecessor, Igor, made himself at home in the cellar, Igor. He had a bed, a desk, all his belongings. I think now you're the new Igor. It is all yours.
And Igor's uniform?
It will be amongst his things. Go and have a look. But be careful. It's dark down there.
I could take a candle.
I don't think that's a very good idea. They are attracted to light.
They?
Things that live in the darkness. Igor had due respect for them, and never dared go down there with a light.
Perhaps the uniform isn't important after all. If you'll excuse me, Master, work calls.
Make haste! My little honey bunny has gone upstairs to take a bath, and could come back down at any minute.
What is upstairs?
Nothing of interest to you. Your place is down here. And tomorrow I'll show you the cellar and the crypt.
I can hardly wait.
Let's talk more work, Igor.
Olhar os palitos de incenso.
Incense? Not something I really expected to find in a place this old. On the other hand, maybe the Count also noticed that it sometimes smells a little moldy and musty in here.
Abrir a caixa.
Cutlery.
A gaveta.
No, nothing of interest.
O que ele pegou? Talheres polidos.
Knife and fork. Look almost brand new. A shallow bowl. Thick white grubs. For some, these things are a source of protein. I'm a little more conservative about my food. A little dandelion, bit of grass and some other weeds.
Com isso que ele vai fazer a salada, enganando que é rúcula?
I must find a way to free Timmy from the werewolf curse. Once he's his old self again, I'll give him back his scarf.
Mesmo.
This is the table I'm supposed to serve dinner on, with all the trimmings. A few days ago, I was a professor of magic in a magic school, and now I'm Igor for a count in the middle of nowhere. The table is pretty old and covered with stains. Won't be good enough to impress the Count's fiancée. Are these just decorative plates, or can they be used? Nate once ate fried potatoes off of the Queen's face in Elfborough. Ivo's mother was not amused.
Ninguém achou nada graça. Pegar.
Igor, be more careful.
I didn't do anything. The plate just flew off the wall.
I've lived here for 10 years. Castle Orlofstein has never been haunted.
Weird.
E aqui tem uma chave que não tem uma chave. Um quadro. Olhar para fora.
I find it odd that Count Olaf bought a castle in the dark woods. Most old people love the heat and the sun. There's not a lot of either here. Maybe he burns easily.
Olhar a ordem de registro.
Luckily, the scroll rolled itself back up. Otherwise, the Count may have spotted that his new Igor is wanted for murder. The council leader must have sent these search warrants everywhere. I hope one didn't make it here. I'll have to be careful. I don't want to go back to Seastone in chains.
Olhar a garrafa de vinho.
The Count seems to be a wine lover. Red wine, to be exact. Seems to me the Count doesn't need a servant for his wine. He refills the glass himself. The Count's got an awful lot of energy for an old boy, but he's as pale as a corpse.
Copo.
A lovely glass with a thick bottom. Glasses made of perfect transparent glass like this are very rare and expensive.
Ah, ele tá pegando as coisas para arrumar a mesa, né?
What's this cord for?
You can make various bells in the castle ring by pulling it.
But there's only one cord.
Who needs more?
Candelabro também vai para a arrumação da mesa.
Ooh, the space here isn't just brighter and friendlier than the entrance hall. All the candles make it a lot warmer too.
Talheres. Prato. Copo. Oh, o copo não vai aqui? O bebedor vazio das galinhas vem pra cá?
I think the Count expects a finer layout to impress his fiancée.
Ah tá, não vem porque ele quer impressionar a noiva.
Not bad, but something is still missing. The sorcerer's diary the Count found hidden in a desk drawer. The Count opened the first 2 seals with its help. The worms cannot comprehend my genius. That is why they say I'm insane. Rutherford does not trust us. He will deceive us, I know. He will be the first to die once we have the power of the Nameless One. Who is Rutherford? Here is a drawing of the various seals. There's something written next to each seal.
Ler a nota.
No one is smarter than I. I have devised a chest for my most valuable possession with 7 seals that only I can open. Each seal can be opened only in a very special manner and only I know how. Each mechanism is more clever than the one before. And there's a list describing how each seal is opened. Ha! It's a good thing the sorcerer was so proud of his work.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Aqui então vai dizer cada selo.
The second seal is opened with the blood of innocence. The seal is already opened. Maybe the Count cut his finger peeling potatoes and then he touched the seal. The third seal will only open when the word open is spoken in Ratish. The 5th seal can only be opened by the breath of death. Death breath. Only one of worthy heart can open the 7th and final seal. Only the hand of the truly greatest sorcerer of all time can open this seal. Only those who feel insatiable hunger can open the 4th seal. The 4th seal is already open. No idea how the Count managed that one. He never eats anything. The 6th seal is opened by the invisible key that is visible to all.
Ah, aquela chave que eu vi ali no quadro. Outra coisa escrita aqui.
Once all 7 magic seals have been released, the chest can be opened. You may have to shake the lid a little, it sometimes sticks. 2 seals are already open, 5 are still closed. The note should help me.
Então é isso. Hoje vamos parando por aqui. O Exou Biribó, agradecendo a presença, o apoio, as dicas, a torcida, desejando boa noite, até amanhã. Por enquanto eu fui.